I would like to say that I do what I do through the course of any given day because I have touched the wounds of Christ. I would like to say I am here in this world that the healing that comes from the wounds of Christ might be more visible. And even as I say that, I know that I am not that healing presence. Rather, like each one of us, we are only a pathway through which Christ can touch and be present to our suffering brothers and sisters in our troubled world. As we gather this evening to continue our celebration of the Triduum, our Jewish brothers and sisters are in the forefront of our news. Our Palestinian brothers and sisters are also before us day after day. And Hamas, the governing officials in Gaza, have pretty much held our attention. I do not think that we can celebrate the passion of Christ without considering a disrupted Middle East. If we have touched the wounds of Christ, we are called to do our best to love our Jewish brothers and sisters, to love our Palestinian brothers and sisters, and our Hamas brothers and sisters, that the healing of Christ might flow into their troubled lives. The Passion of Christ is an event. It is a moment in history, but it is also a powerful grace that gives meaning and hope to all who suffer. The mystery of God's communion with this human family is found in Jesus, infleshed, made real. We might think that the suffering of Christ is over and done. And yet, the suffering continues in every creature, in every child of God, in this present moment. We celebrate a moment in history. We are also aware that the Passion continues in the difficult lives and the turmoil of innumerable men, women, and children. Jesus made a powerful statement at the end of his life, actually throughout his life. In his teaching, in the lives of the people he encountered, those significant, those insignificant. Jesus made a powerful statement. We have only begun to grasp the message. And that is why we continue and why we must continue to celebrate his passion. That the deeper message of Jesus might reach the full depth of who we are. That we might become the human beings God intended The powerful message of Jesus' death and resurrection is that we do not have to return violence for violence, that we work for justice and truth, that the liberating love of God might reign over all. Forgiveness is the central message of Jesus' ministry, his life and death. And by God's grace, we can become a forgiving people. The word passion has a number of definitions. One dictionary provided as the first definition the enduring of inflicted pain, torture, or the like. And after a number of other definitions, that same dictionary gave this definition: intense emotion, ardent affection, love. It seems odd a single word can have such different meanings. On the one hand, pain and torture. On another, affection and love. And yet, when we speak of the passion of the Lord, both are so very important. There is deep suffering and pain, but there is also affection and love. Jesus stands with us in our difficult moments, especially those moments of suffering, that we might ponder the deeper meaning of life, that is, love, affection, forgiveness, reconciliation. Without the suffering, we may never truly reach the truth. That is, genuine love. We touch the wounds of Christ. When we stand with our suffering brothers and sisters, we become for them love and affection that God intended. Coming together to celebrate the Triduum, we encounter a wholeness greater than all the brokenness the world can ever muster. To celebrate the Passion is to embrace a goodness greater than all the suffering. May our time in celebration and in prayer this evening help us come closer to our essence, to touch the wounds of Christ enables us to be authentic.